try a little test here. See if this comes out at all. That looks good. Fuck it. Alright. So, I've stopped here at the summit of, I don't even know what mountain yet. I have to look. But it's the tallest climb I've done so far. 5,480 feet. And it went pretty well. The other night, though, after I filmed at the blueberry patch, I didn't get a chance to film the bees because it started raining. And I had to, or I tried to get to the group, or I wanted to, I should say, get to the group that had left earlier in the day. They had an 11-mile hike, and I didn't get started until 4 o'clock. And probably about right before I got to the North Carolina-Georgia border, it started raining. And it rained non-stop, ever harder, until I got to the campsite, which I got lost several times and was pretty scared. And as most of my friends and probably family know, I'm not super religious, but I was asking for God's help then. I thought I might not make that one. Got lost off the trail. I couldn't see very well. It was nighttime, so I'm already using a light, which isn't that bad. One of the benefits, I guess, of being in North Carolina is they mark the trail more often, so I could see that I was actually going in the right direction. Although I did lose the trail a couple times anyway, just due to the fact that I couldn't see where the hell I was going, and there were some turns in there. But I did make it to the campsite almost by luck. I found that trying to count the summits of the mountains that I climbed to figure out my location is not as good as timing how fast I walk. So usually I can do 1.5, 2 miles an hour, depending on the terrain and whether I'm going uphill or downhill. And off of the time, I can usually gauge, where I should be and if the shelter's coming up. And luckily, I was able to, I was pretty close to my timing. It was about 11:30 at night, and I had said if I don't find it by midnight that I'm just going to have to set up camp on the side of the trail because I couldn't even find a campsite. And by luck, one of the people who was at the shelter, what the hell is all that? Left a note for his friends that the shelter was at this location, and had it not been for the note, I would have passed the shelter. Faux show, I would have passed the shelter. So, thank God for his note, and then I was able to get in and change out of my wet clothes, because I was probably pretty much on the verge of hypothermia at one point. If I hadn't kept climbing and doing all that stuff, then I definitely would have been too cold. A couple times my hands started getting a little cold, but as I started moving some more, my hands warmed up. Anyway, I found the shelter, and then went to leave the next morning when another torrential downpour started. With the very, very cold, it was 40 degrees, and I just decided to stay back, and took a 0 day, so I didn't get any miles yesterday. But I'm making up for it today, and I made up for it on the previous days. So yeah, let's see here. Muskrat Creek is where I stood, and then I climbed to 5,498 feet is Standing Indian Mountain, is what I'm on right now. And I'd love to say that the view is great, but the trees are keeping me from really seeing anything clearly, which is fine. I'm hungry anyway. So I'm gonna eat my peanut butter and trail mix and see if I can get a signal so I can give a GPS location to my friends and family and hopefully send some text messages because I haven't been so lucky. So I'm out. Talk to you later.